Win. And before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or support me through sending a super chat during the Rumble live chat, or subscribe to my channel. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Alright, so yeah. Today I'm probably like the latest start of the Flat Earth Early Bird show ever. 1.5 hours late, I'm very sorry. But yeah, I was gonna do the show anyway. Weather is absolutely gorgeous. Totally pristine blue sky. Such a contrast with yesterday when they were just trailing a lot. Not so much now. So yeah, I really enjoyed a smoke. Standing on the roof there, soaking up some sun. There's like almost no wind either, so it's really nice outside. Yeah, beautiful weather. Beautiful skies. Alright, so hello Borders Boy first in chat. Underground Tunnels, good to see you. Going out for a new alarm clock? No, I slept through it. Okay, turned it off and then just kept sleeping. And there's been like some people drilling in the wall here downstairs somewhere. So I kind of like stopped or waited until I think they stopped now. So because it was gonna be like through the show then anyway. Hello Arg. The new show timing suiting you more. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's probably tons of people that will now just be like, oh, hey, I normally show up late. So, I mean, I'm feeling good, I'm refreshed. And the weather's beautiful. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna do a show no matter if it's late. Like, maybe it'll be shorter, I don't know. I don't have to go out. You thought the show timings had changed? No. No, I'm just late. No, the season shift is not there yet for a while. Like the daytimes change. I don't know when that takes place. I think it's like in spring somewhere. In May or something. I don't know. But that's not here for a while. Right, but yeah, I was saying, like, I'm gonna try to get to bed earlier. And then I end up staying up like past 6 last night. Like, I don't know why. I was just not ready to go to bed. Watching some Yellowstone and playing some games and checking out InfoWars and seeing if something new happened. Looks like the Zelensky versus Trump situation is getting even more sour overall. Not hearing a lot of follow-up. Also, apparently the FBI raided the FBI yesterday, I think, or the day before. I don't know when exactly. That was kind of funny. Although, of course, the reason is not very funny. Because there's a lot of crime being covered up. But yeah, it also had to do with like the Epstein files being withheld. So yeah, the whole thing is still rolling. Oh God, don't understand why people that are already blocked then still can leave comments. Like, that's weird. Whatever. Right. Had a weird back and forth with Mikey on Skype yesterday. Apparently he got himself into all kinds of trouble. And very weirdly started asking me if I had money for him, which is like, are you seriously asking Arwin? That's very funny. But I did, like, he felt pretty shitty after a while. So I did offer to apply the technique to him, because he just seemed really out of it. And I think that worked. But yeah, I'm not sending him any money. I can barely get by with what I get. Hey, Maxed Out Bear. Mikey. Yeah, that's that guy that everybody keeps bringing up. Mikey Smith. His little YouTube channel is from Canada, and he goes all over the place and he does astronomy. Oh, you were about to ask me for money? Very funny, Maxed Out Bear. I mean, that's hilarious. No, I could really use some support, actually. But I mean, yeah, that's just ongoing. But that was kind of ridiculous of the guy. Like, that does show, like, ooh, he's a little bit, a bit wild and weird. Like, not in a good way. I mean, like, I never done that ever. Like, just contact somebody and then, like, within hours, start begging for money. Like, overtly. Like, that's nuts. Like, even if there was a good reason, like, how the fuck... Ugh, it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, after your strong attendance, you should get a 33k US dollar gift. Nah. Okay, taking it a bit too far there, Maxed Out Bear. Very funny. But, yeah, no. I hope you're here because you're interested and you like what I talk about. Right, so don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking the show thus far. Ooh, a 3. It's weird. There's always more Rogans down than there's actual viewers. I mean, it's... But yeah, I don't really... I mean, sometimes they get over 100 in. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for the show. I'm still gonna just do what I do. Right. What was I gonna talk about? Selling his star pictures. I'm sure he'd support you in return. Okay. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I mean, I'm literally like, I got just 2-digit amounts of euros, and I'm like just trying to figure out how can I get by with that in the coming 3 weeks. Yeah. So please support me. But I mean, if you like Mikey or whatever, then, and you're used to also supporting him, then by all means help him out. This is probably a typical situation that happens with him a lot. Seems like a guy that just gets into trouble by rushing into things and not planning properly. And then you get into money issues. Yeah, I know. That's why I never do that. Very careful. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make sure that I'm well prepared. I had a lot of experience with stupid things that, like huge bills unexpectedly in the time when I was a little bit more wealthy, so that it wouldn't be like so devastating. But I learned, like, yeah, you just gotta check, like, if you're gonna go abroad, you gotta check with your mobile phone company ahead of time and perhaps adapt your phone subscription, and like you gotta really plan it out. Because if you don't, you're fucked. I mean, and I'm just like using my phone for just talking, right? I mean, he's using his phone for freaking live streaming, which is like a broadband internet thing. Like, yeah, you should definitely have actually planned that out ahead of time. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll not do that again. Oh, I have to take your boy to sports. Oh, okay, arg. No worries. I'll see you around. Hope you have a lovely day. It is the month of March gladness. This is a really great idea from Owen Benjamin. It's funny. My mother's birthday was always in March. Not perfectly sure which day it was. I think it was like 25 or something. I'd have to ask my dad. He still remembers. Or to check my mother's old passport, which I do have. Right, whatever. But I always remember like March, that's my mother's birthday month, just like August is my dad's birthday month, and February is mine, and December is my brother's. That's like roughly how I remember people's birthdays, because I do not have a very good board type of memory to memorize dates. People's birthdays a lot. Never good at that. Like I'm the guy that, I want to seriously keep track of that. I then actually have to keep an agenda, which I haven't done in 20 years. I almost tried a couple of times, but then like no. But even like 25 and 30 years ago, like agendas, yay. I for school I needed to do that, but then there were times when like I bought an agenda and then literally like the entire thing would just be empty. Like all year. It's a complete waste. So just don't use that. I use mind notes. And they're relatively short term. But it works really well, and I don't need an agenda. So it's like my agenda is like in my mind. But yeah. Dates, keeping dates, nah. Not good at that. Phone tech must be incredible. SIM cards. Oof. Yeah, I wasn't super into mobile phones in the 90s. I mean, I had one, and it was mostly like to call my girlfriend or whatever. And my mom wanted to originally have me to have one, like if she was worried. So I just used it for emergencies. I was never really a mobile calling type. Like I am much more now, like calling my friend in Ame. I mean, those are like hours phone calls. But I just don't do that every day. It's more like once a week. Not close. Yeah. Tech they've made is great. Yeah, I mean, voice calls are pretty revolutionary. And like, I think it's pretty cool you can do that, like on a desktop computer, but to then also realize like you can actually do that on a stupid little phone like that, the smartphone thing, yeah, that is pretty astounding. Like that is pretty impressive. that that's possible. Like, if you told me that 30 years ago, I'd have doubts. Like, I don't think that's possible. Like, that's too much. That's what I would have thought back then. Like, I wouldn't be able to believe that that's actually just right around the corner. But I mean, that worked. It does work. I mean, the system they developed to basically have barely any delay between, like, video calls over vast distances. I mean, that is really astonishing. That the time between receiving is so little. That part is kind of like, how the hell do they even do that? Like, that it just seems that whether you're having a video call with somebody that's, I don't know, on the other side of the city, or comparatively a video call with somebody that's on the other side of the realm. Like, if you call somebody video call to Australia, and like, if the connection works and it's not just stumbly all the time, like, it works really well, and that's incredible. Like, how can you just have such communication with so little delay? Like, why would that ever be possible? See, it's not even about, oh, it's not stumbly, but just how can it be so quick to interconnect that information? Like, that is like puzzling to me. Like, how is that even possible? Oh, for such fast distances, like, that is crazy. Right? It's not like there's just one straight line wire connecting. No, it's like pathways and stuff, and like, how can it be so fast? I find that a little puzzling. Internet cafes. Yeah. Well, I didn't really join the internet back then. I mean, I had modem video call in for really stupid video games. And a bit of online 3D shooting when I was still doing that. That was fascinating. I mean, the early days of like massive online 3D shooters like Quake 1, Quake 2. Played a lot of Quake 2. That was really fascinating to do, though. But man, there was like massive delay shit, was kind of weird like that. But that just was possible was incredible. But it was a lot slower back then. But I didn't really use the internet much. I was never like, ooh, I'm going to like become a total internet person. Nope. I mean, not even in like 2010. I still was like, no, I'm not really engaging, I'm not really on social media. Because I was still like enjoying the remnants of face-to-face communication era. Because that was all just dying on me for like 20 years, noticeably. People were like retracting from the normal social life form of communications, and I was like very worried about that because I appreciated it a lot. Used to like live like that. And then it all just went away and became part of the internet, and I was always really reluctant to engage because I didn't like how it had changed people. But then eventually Flat Earth happened in 2015, or rather happened again through YouTube, and then that really changed everything for me. And so I decided okay, I'm now going to be part of this problem. The internet that keeps people from their social lives. Oh God, I'm going to be part of it, but I'm going to at least try to give something interesting. Modern communication will be super fast these days. Yeah. But I'm kind of puzzled how that goes so fast. I mean, fiber optics cables are great. And yeah, if you realize that light technically travels instantaneously, I said it doesn't really have a speed and thus no delay. It does make sense, but I mean, it's not just all fiber optics from machine directly to machine. So there is electronics and stuff in between also, and then it's just still incredibly fast. I mean, especially when it's from mobile to mobile or something. I mean, there's no fiber optics cable there. I mean, a lot of it is literally going through the air. Yet it still is really fast. That is pretty astounding. Also, I do have to admit more and more that I was really worried about radiologicals, right? Radio waves and all wireless stuff, Wi-Fi, what comes off a modem, what comes off a mobile. I've been very worried about that since early 2000s, when I started to learn that there was serious danger with that scientifically, and that 5G can technically be transformed into a weaponized system by a flick of a switch. It's really creepy. That's probably part of the smart meters. They have a weaponized option setting that can be turned on from the outside. Really creepy. And I've been very afraid of it, but it does seem in an age when there is really more increased radiological activity everywhere. I mean, every single fucking person that I'll ever bump into out there has a freaking smartphone. I'm the only guy in this city, or maybe there's 5 or 6 others or something that don't have a smartphone. And so we're all bathing in that shit. And there's Starlink, right? Whatever the fuck that is. Something top down. Some wireless thing that's pulling fast distances. I mean, that's also just getting spread out more and more. And I mean, I'm still not dead from it. I expected when I was much younger that when it'll pile up, I'd literally start to physically disintegrate under the influence of it. I was very afraid of that. But it seems like it hasn't really happened. "5G weapon? Not at all." Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But it pulls a lot of power if it is utilized like a weapon. So it has to have access to power. That's been the big trick about it. If it gains access to high powers reserves, then it could use that power reserve in a weaponized fashion. If it doesn't have that, if it's just connected to a freaking car battery or to a power grid that does not have like a very active power generating plant nearby or something, then like it's not gonna get enough power to actually do damage were it to be utilized as a weapon. The 5G. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, but I will. Right? Especially smart meters. There's something with it. There's something that gets bad news in many ways. But I mean, I already realized that basically the Wi-Fi on standard modems is like 5G. Wi-Fi is basically 5G. So it's kind of already been there for a very long time, which is kind of weird to realize that afterward. But yeah, 5G, it just has a range. And unless you're like surrounded by 5G emitters continuously, even because on low power, like that is gonna like mess you up eventually. Like I can feel that. But that's not the same as it being used as a weapon, because that just draws way more power. And that's just not just gonna happen like that randomly. Enjoy work. I'm not. Don't you worry about me. Chemtrails are more of a problem. Oh yeah? Not to me. But no, I do agree. Even if just psychological. Yeah, it's chemtrails, if you want to call them that. Trails are a psychological problem because you can actually see them, and then more often than not have negative thoughts in response to that. Perhaps disappointment or irritation or fear. And it doesn't mean that it's all bad. I mean, weather alteration can be a good thing. It's not good, though, that this would be done by groups that do it in secret. I had shows about this before, a couple of weeks ago, where I argue, like, I want it to be just declassified. I want the establishment to come out, like, yeah, we do geoengineering. Yes, we do. This is who's like tasked to do that in the different regions, and then it should be opened. It should be like, yeah, just let people know what the program is and why. So like have a management type communication about it to the public through the weather report or something. Right? You have the weather, like, oh, look, this and that. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, yeah, there is a plan in the agenda. They're going to be spraying in like 5 days because otherwise a frost spell might set in. Or like they need to create a bump for a storm front so that it doesn't move into a certain region where it will typically have like reasons. Yeah, I mean, there's reasons why they do it, the modification. There's reasoning behind it, and just be open about it. And then eventually people get used to it, like, oh, they're the weather modification people, or as Owen Benjamin would call it, the weather Jews, like the ones that manage that. Then people can have more trust in it, and then have more open inquiry, like, hey, what are the actual environmental consequences of doing this? Like, yeah, that's a good question. there's ongoing research, and I mean, these are the chemicals and the materials that they use to spray. And like, maybe some of them are not all that great. And then I hope that there is like research to like, how can you use materials that are less harmful to nature? Not to the fucking climate change bullshit agenda, but literally to the actual climate, to actual nature, life, like toxicity scale type thing. Then like, what's the best way to do durable geoengineering? Like modest weather modification, balance, so that there's no blatantly disadvantaged parties, right? Very important. Can't just have like one country stealing all the good weather or the rain in an area that's kind of barren from neighbors that are just choked dry because of that, right? So there has to be balance and open and management. And I mean, this is like, there should be a government department like for weather and weather modification and management, WMM. And that's part of my vision for a more open, more true futurist kind of way of dealing with it. Like, I don't say people that talk about chemtrails are crazy. They're doing it. But if you're just open about what you're actually using, right? No more secret experimental crap. Right? I'm sure that like big pharma is also secretly having a back entrance to the program now and just like dumping certain chemicals. I mean, who knows? Maybe this is a pure conspiracy theorist without any research. It's just an idea. Maybe they used some kind of weird chemical spray like in 2019 and 20 when they were really chemtrailing a lot. 2019 especially, to induce like the COVID type response. People like got physical like chokiness, short of breath because of specific chemicals that they dumped in the air for a while. It's like, yeah, it's just a response to poison. That's like subtly mixed in without telling us. Like, yeah, that could be what have happened, because it's like a back door, because the chemtrail program is like not public. So you have backdoor entrances. People can just do something with it without telling anybody, and they have no accountability. People could just suddenly be poisoned because of some program outside of the standard weather modification materials that are used, right? So declassifying the weather modification, making it more public, more accountable, also prevents these kinds of weird chemical, pharmaceutical sneak attack situations. Right? So it's like very serious for me. Like, I want like declassifying and more publicizing, more open media about like, and government about weather modification. Let's just get real with it. It's been 30 years of testing. It's time to come out of the closet. They must have special Illuminati lungs. No, they just take it too. Underground tunnel. I mean, it's a Jacobin way. Right? So, Jacobin way is like, okay, all this population is our enemy. We attack the enemy. Like, yeah, but you're gonna get caught in the attacks. Like, yeah, do it anyway. It's the Jacobin way. It's part of their insanity. And there is a weird logic to it too, because I mean, if they are buying the illusion of it, like they take the shot or whatever of what they're selling, then that fools a lot of people. Because there's a good chance that because of just mental gymnastics, a lot of these, especially pharmaceutical salespeople that we're confronted with, like they actually believe what they're selling, which is ridiculous. But I mean, they kind of like force themselves to do that. And people fall for that. It's really devious, sophisticated form of lying. Even though, I mean, it's not really working for smarter people, but it does work really well on not so smart people. Weather modification. Electronic power. Yeah, all kinds of things. But it should be openly done, not secretly, openly. Like, let people have the ability to be aware of when these devices are used. When they're spraying, when they're turning on their energy things, like the weird spheres, like giant, they look like giant golf balls, and they're like on ships, also, or on land, certain places, like that's a weather modification influencing device, like a giant golf ball, like on a, yeah, just sticks out like a mini tower with like a big golf ball. That's what they look like. Those are weather modification devices. They've had them for a while. Why do they use the sky and chemtrails rather than the water supply? Because they are that, yeah, I mean, in some places they are also using the water supply, but yeah, I mean, why? Some things and chemicals are just best deposited through aerosol rather than through water supply. So, yeah. Alright, agricultural industry. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. Right? I mean, weather modification is of great interest to farming. And I think that you could even say that farms should have a say in it, in that sense. Because, I mean, it's like their business is directly on the line because of what weather modification will do. So they should have like a stake in it. Like farmers should have, of every region, have like a representative. That'll have a say at the table or what is decided about the weather program. Right, that's another thing. Spheres on ships are radar devices. Yeah, I know but they're not just radar. They can do way more than just radar. Right? I mean, they can also be used as deflectors. And they do. I mean, it's just like Star Trek in that sense, right? They have like, oh, the deflector dish. Yeah, you can use it as a sensor array, or you can use it to send out a pulse of some kind. And that's kind of what those devices are. They're like transmitter receiver things. What am I going to put in the title? Certainly something about weather modification. Okay, let's do this for now. They classify weather modification. Agriculture should have a stake in it. It's just as a start. Farmers not form a cooperative, use old-fashioned crop spray aircraft to control the weather. Stay, please. Well, maybe. I guess they could, but I mean those planes don't spray at very high altitude though. They don't reach that high. But yet technically they could, but that's not what this is about. it's not harming us, that must be good. You don't know that. If it's not declassified, how do you know? Yeah? And farmers with like crop spraying planes don't fly high altitude and then start spraying giant lines over the middle of big city. Yeah, that's not what they do. Yeah, chemtrails may indeed also have a sinister purpose to them. How would we know for sure when it's all being kept under wrap? Being done in secret, no openness about it. That's the point of declassifying weather modification. So there can be more openness about what they're actually doing. Then maybe allow and steer some of the more beneficial applications and keep out the sneaky poisoning shit. Let's expand upon the title a little bit more. Not just a stake in it. Agriculture should have a stake in weather modification decision making. There you go. Like they should have a vote on the board, like a guild. Like, yeah, whatever weather modification, like it's in their biggest interest, professional, so they should have some say in it. Not just be delivered to the crazy ideas of a few. Because farmers are very dependent on the weather for their success. And thus also the people that eat that food. I mean, it's important, in my opinion, that agriculture should have a stake in weather modification decision making. And it should be declassified. So here's my vision for the future. Right, hope everybody is appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I'm having regrets about not having coffee anymore. As in, like, I wish I still had more. It's the same issue, always the same. I mean, I will have another coffee later, but not right now. Yeah. What evidence do you have? No, don't go there. Underground is very irritating at this point. Don't do that. It's not paranoia. There is literal spraying happening, and not right here, right now, but it has been happening. Geoengineering has been applied for 30 years, and like what chemtrailers say, like, oh, they use these chemicals, barium salts, aluminum dioxide. Like, yeah, that's literally part of the open admission of geoengineering, which has been applied. It's just not really open about it. They say they're doing it, but they're not being open about the details. They're not telling you the program. Yeah, so it's not paranoia. It's that those claims from chemtrail activists are based on open admissions. The point is, it's being kept under wraps. And so, right, you can use these types of weather modification programs in different ways. Now, because it's under wraps, it's secret, you don't get to know how they are using it, and they can use it to do negative things, and then you will not know about it. Yeah, that's the fucking point. That's why it should be declassified, so they can't use it as a sneaky backdoor to basically do chemical experiments on people. And on nature entirely. Like, openness stops that. It's not paranoia. This is common frickin' sense. This is order. Order, open, and honesty. Vanish, go away. What? Because I'm talking to you? No, this is a serious subject. You're telling me like, oh, no evidence. Is this paranoia? No, this is all very real. This is serious. It's a serious subject. It's not, I'm being anything but paranoid. Like, I'm stating like, because we don't know, it can be nefarious or partially nefarious. We won't know. That's the fucking point. That's like the entire point. I'm not saying it is, or it's always been. It can, and we don't get to know about it. That's the problem. Could turn out that it was all just speculation and nobody ever, I doubt it, that nobody ever actually used that backdoor option with weather modification. Somebody's definitely done that, probably in 2019. Yeah. But since we can't just look into an open program about weather modification, you don't know. That's not paranoia. That's literally being as reasonable as humanly possible. Not paranoia. Just saying. Also, there's another danger. If you don't do this, if you don't declassify weather modification, that means that the secret backdoor option that it will then represent and keep representing can be expanded upon. If it's not declassified, they can use it again, or even worse. Because it's not declassified. It should be declassified for public safety alone. Like, public safety is a good enough reason to do full declassification. of weather modification in the last 30 years and present an option of reasonable weather modification open to the public, like hand out the details and the programs, the plans and the details of what you're using in news reports, in weather reports, with meteorology reports, all that. And on top of that, in agricultural zones, make sure that they have representatives that will be directly in on the planning, that they have a say on whatever program is going to be utilized for their region, so that they don't have damages, or at least minimized. Right? It's going to be in the interest of farmers, like, hey, how about we don't have giant tornadoes? Like, that's in their interest, right? In everybody's interest, but I mean, farmers, of course. Right? Or, hey, this region could really use some rain. I mean, it's always sunny, but we want periodic rain creation. Like, yeah, I don't think anybody would really mind if it rained a couple of days a month during the summer, right, or more, and then crops would succeed better, etc., etc. Like, and so just let's use it more efficiently, more openly, and let's embrace the future with this new option that can make like life everywhere a hell of a lot better. But don't keep it a secret, because then it can be used by nefarious parties as a backdoor option to basically experiment on the public and on life in general, by spraying their testing chemicals or whatever without anybody ever knowing about it. Like, that's a terrible thing that they can just do that now. People should be outraged. Like, we don't want to be subject by secret government experimentation. We find that unacceptable. But we don't mind if they can make the weather better. That's it. Right. So I've been talking about this for an hour. I think I made plenty of good points. Jesus. Gross. Right, let me add the chat, by the way. I completely forgot about that. Right. Ah. See? Right? Good things to think about. Instead of like, oh, they're gonna kill us all, oh, the spraying, oh, be afraid, oh, we might need to wear masks to protect against what they're spraying. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be like, hey, maybe we could integrate this technology since it's already being used and just like have proper oversight? No more sneaky backdoor shit? Actually make it work for the people? Right? Win-win. Win-win for everybody. I mean, who can object? Like, were the farmers gonna object? No, we don't want any weather modification. Yeah, but what about those bitter winters? I mean, with a couple of sprays, you could, like, not make it freeze so unbelievably hard that it'll literally kill everything in, like, the fruit trees. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, maybe. Right? Like, it is a good thing. It can be used in a very preserving, conservative way. Boy is winning the match. Okay, awesome. Good to hear, Arg. Welcome back. Right? Right, and I roll out this vision also because I think that Trump, who is now literally in the middle of like trying to initiate a golden age, I think that he would agree with me. Like, Sir, Lord Emperor Trump, Sir, Mr. President, take my idea. I give it to you. You don't even have to credit me or anything. Like, there's probably other people that will pop up and then can be created to take the credit, whatever. Like, you don't need to associate with me. I mean, shout out would be totally crazy and insane and hilarious. Like, why would he do that? But, I mean, I present this idea for the world. And I think that America has really suffered the most of any region in the world of this weird backdoor option, especially for big pharma. If Mr. Trump, if you declassify weather modification, make it a more public utility, I think that like that would significantly help the trust in government and in like in the seasons even. Like, it would just give a better outlook for people in regions. And I think everybody would agree, like, this is the future. Like, that's the future. Like, that's another sign. Like, we finally hit the 21st century for real. Like, we have weather control now. We're in the future. Let it be an open future and not a secret experimenting sandbox to spray whatever. I think everybody, it would add to the legend of Trump's run, what he's been doing recently since he became president. And I hope that he takes it. I hope they'll do it. Alright, hope everybody else is also appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogans it up if you are. I got 3 Rogans. Come on, guys. This show deserves more for that. Alright, let's see what's going on out there. Maybe we want to switch subjects. I think I re-emphasize the same damn thing over and over again enough by now. Ooh, Trump cuts all Ukraine military aid. Well done. New York is following suit with like the crazy Stasi bullshit. Taking away free speech completely. Right. Anyway, I'm doing good. Weather's still beautiful out there. No persistent trails. Right? And I do hope again that I've given you a vision about how to deal with this for the future that gives everybody a good feeling. Like, yeah. I mean, it is pretty awesome that we can just like stabilize the weather now. All we have to do is just get honest with it. And then, I mean, we'll just get better and better at it over time. Being less burdensome on nature with the influences through weather modification. Until eventually it's like, it'll just be a giant surplus. Like optimal weather everywhere. And I mean, it's not always going to be perfect, but if it's like going to be shitty weather, then it can be made to be less shitty, less damaging, right? And if it's going to be good weather, then you could potentially give it a notch and make it even better weather. Like this is how you should look at it. It's like, it can work out fantastically. Did you miss chat drama? Not really, Maxed Out Bear. It's just one troll popping up, but it just immediately deleted them. And I got a bit irritated over Underground Tunnel's statement about me being paranoid about chemtrails. Like, no, that's not what I've been rolling out this show. Right. It's been a very specific themed show today. Right, starting late, but still, I mean, it's been pretty good. Is this bullshit? Okay. Yeah, nobody's gonna do anything. Oh, immediately delete. Like, these fucking troll fuckwits, they keep sending me emails like every day. And I just wanted to emphasize again, you automatically land in my spam box. Then I do regularly open my spam box, recognize the names of the trolls, and then without even reading the title, click delete. Just wanted to let you know, like, I absolutely do not read your shit. The times that I do that is extremely rare, like 1 out of 100 times. So you should stop bothering yourself by trying to get my attention all the time doing that. I know you do it every day. It's a really fucked up thing. Like, you got something wrong with you. Yeah? I'm not your buddy. What you think about things, your opinion is completely irrelevant to what I do. I don't actually read those emails. Just recognize the name, click delete. That's it. Now let there not be any doubts about that. Too much another form of usury. Well, maxed out bear, that's the thing. Weather modification shouldn't be pushed to the limit by creating totally unnatural weather. So if a region is like usually kind of a swamp, and then you're like, oh, we're going to turn it into like a perfect sunny resort all the time. Like, yeah, that's gonna mess things up, right? You can't just like engineer whatever type of weather you like. That's crazy. That's dangerous. That will cause like meteorological instability on the world. It's all about nudging what is there. You can't just radically alter the type of weather a region has. I mean, you could do that potentially, but I mean, the long-term consequences of that is that it's going to destabilize weather patterns surrounding it, and maybe even worse. So that's why that should not be done, but nudging it, definitely. Body develops caffeine dependence and must... Yeah. Well, weather modification should not be like every freaking day, and it doesn't have to be. Slight nudges. Definitely, like, we want really clear blue skies to enjoy the sun every now and then, don't we? I do. So yeah, not continuous weather modification, obviously. Right? Because, I mean, if you're going to overdo it, right? It's like, oh, this region, it has rain, but the neighboring region does not have rain. We want the rain of that region to go there. We're going to draw it all in somehow. And then they spray the shit out of the place and just create this electric field, and then like suddenly the storm just like gets sucked up into the other region. And there it might like create like giant lightning storms and tornadoes. Like, yeah, you can absolutely overdo it, and you should not just overdo it. Right? Careful consideration. I mean, there's good AI-based statistical analysis models and all that to basically guide like what would happen if you do certain things. That exists. I mean, what do you think they've been developing in the last 30 years doing this program? they must have models now of what the consequences of these actions are. And so that should be used, that knowledge. Water temperatures in the tropics dictate what kind of winter you have. That's interesting. Right. So nothing should have to be done about that. Yeah. But it's good to know that. I mean, if you're gonna like go with like based on that input that you get, blueprint evolution, I mean, you could take weather modification to a radical new direction and then say like, oh yeah, if it's tropics have hot water, it's gonna always be a great summer in California. Like, okay, well then we can deploy giant water heaters in the middle of the ocean there to give it a nudge in the right moment. Like, yeah, now you're like threading like actual cyclical altering geoengineering. Like, you could try that out and then end up radically distorting like the entire weather balance in the world. See what I mean? Like, that's why you shouldn't do that. Like, geoengineering, weather modification is a better word, because I mean, don't actually like radically alter in a permanent fashion the way that the weather happens naturally, like with the oceanic streams and everything. If you do that, I mean, dude, total chaos. Unexpected weather pattern alterations that you can't undo, potentially. Like, no, don't do that. Right? Or maybe do that. Maybe it's like, oh my god, it's been a reoccurring problem for a while now that just the waters in tropical regions, they don't get warm enough for some damn reason. We can't figure it out. Okay, well then maybe oceanic heaters should be deployed then. If it's like a growing problem, you want to stabilize it? Okay, then try to add a heater. See if it helps. You know? But the point is, you have to declassify weather modification first, and then it can be a publicly discussable item. Warm water in the tropics causes wet winter. Okay, is that a bad thing, wet winter? Don't you want a bit of water? Right, but I mean, it's just a rough example, right? I'm not saying like, oh, let's radically change anything. Like, I'm actually warning against that. As a matter of fact, as a rule of thumb, you could say nature should be left to change on its own. If it's changing in a certain direction, even if that has consequences, it should be still allowed to happen. And if it turns really devastating, well then you can, I don't know, change how things work, actually do serious modification to then stop the escalation of the bad weather pattern that's starting to emerge because of certain, I don't know, oceanic streams or whatever, right? but at least let it happen to see whether the predictions of what would happen if it would naturally change, if that actually comes true. Right? You gotta let nature prove how nature works to a degree in order to be able to modify it properly. Because if you're just always going to be speculating about what happens but never really knowing, well, then you're going to make decisions about how to change things based on an incomplete picture that's going to have, at some point, erratic results. It's complicated. Got a price break in rent during wet years? Yeah, that's good luck with that. But I mean, Blue Pill, technically, like, California has, like, drought issues, right? And it has certain water reserves. Dude, you could literally have weather modification during the wet winters, where instead of, like, launching in the rain could be, like, basically harvested directly into the grounds that's gonna, like, absorb it into the water reserves directly, by making it, like, forcing the rain to rain right there instead of, like, over the city, right? Like, almost like a demoisturizer specifically over the reservoir that, like, forces the rain to fall right all over there and suck the cloud that will rain towards it, so that it doesn't just rain out over the city, but actually just more controlled rains over the reservoir, and then you always have a lot of water reservoir, right? That would be great, would it not? So the abilities you can actually use weather modification can be, like, absolutely fantastical. Like, minimize natural hazards from certain types of weather. Optimize things even. Like, you could do all kinds of good things with it. But you gotta declassify it first. Right? Weather modification can be used for storm prevention, to nip tornadoes in the bud, etc. That's, like, the oldest application that's known since, like, the 70s or something. What is it? And, like, instead of just nipping it in the bud, you can, like, squirt it like a sponge. You like, okay, weathery clouds, where do you want them to basically pull the plug? Where do you want it to deposit all the water? Right over there. Well, have, like, a needle thing that's gonna send out a certain frequency thing, or however that works, that's like, oh, the cloud getting close is, like, influencing the cloud. It's gonna make the cloud, like, massively condensate, and suddenly, like, the cloud just drops all the water right near that needle that it would be present right over a water reservoir. It's like, deposit your water here, clouds, right? It could be, like, a permanent feature even. The possibilities are great. Right, especially if the alternative is like, oh yeah, there will be wet seasons, and then, like, all the cities just get flooded. I'm like, oh god, now this again, right? Well, why would you want the thing that is basically an advantage, more water, to be a disadvantage? if you could just make the rain fall not over the cities but right over the water reservoirs as a standard feature for when that type of weather starts to arrive. Great. You'd be crazy not to do it, in my opinion. Right. Anyway, hope everybody's appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. Be right back. Loopil, if you'd like to guard over the chat that no troll starts spamming or something. Overall control, science fiction. I'm not saying overall control. That's specifically what I'm not saying. Weirdness. Right. Anyway, be right back in 2 minutes. System of channels to carry the water out to the ocean the extreme way. Yeah. Right. But like what the thing is, like, yeah, you have to build like water draining systems if you get flooded. But what if you could just prevent that flood from happening entirely and make all the water deposit at a specific location? I mean, with the right systems, I'm just imagining like this needle thing, like a needle right over a water reservoir. Like this is some valley where you want all the rain to basically come down because it's all water reservoir. It's all just this sponge. Then you can literally turn the clouds into water carriers for you. Like if they're just gonna go to the exact location where you want them to go, like it's like you have a giant floating water carrier, and it's not just gonna dump it all over the place, but it's gonna throw it into that specific spot because of the needle. I mean, that's fantastical. Talk about efficiency. Just turn the clouds into literal water carriers for you. I mean, that's awesome. And I think it is really possible to do that. Right? It might still get out of control if there's just too much water, and it'll still like deposit in those like around the needle, but still cities might be flooded. So yeah, you always want emergency drainage in regions that could be flooded, even if it would happen less. But I mean, yeah. Why not use weather modification to turn the clouds into water carriers for you? Automatically. How to guide the clouds? By pulling them in. And then as soon as they become in range, make the water condensate, make it pour down. Ferret now? What? Why, Anunnaki? Dude. Why? It's after 8 in the morning. Yeah, blue pill evolution. I'm probably gonna round out soon though. It's never gonna be a very long show. Okay, well hey, go fuck yourself, Anunnaki. Bye! Huh? You unstable motherfucker? Cleary? Yeah? Well, go fuck yourself then, you fucking asshole. Oh, you're one of the trolls now? Well, fuck you then, and fuck your membership, and thought that understanding we had. You deranged fucking asshole. Don't have to see you here again. Yeah? This is the last time, dipshit. You don't pull this shit on me, asshole. Yeah, you have no control over yourself. You're a fucking demon slave. You just had to do it. Well, go fuck yourself then. Yeah, that was your last fucking chance. Scum. Fucking scum. Don't let the trolls get to you. No, it was fucking Cleary, man. He's just casually telling me, hey, I'm with the trolls now. Oh, well, go fuck yourself then, you fucking scumbag. I hope something really horrifying happens to you, fucking scumbag. Yeah? You're a deranged mental patient to just switch to total sick, deranged scumbags like that. Yeah? I don't want to have anything to do with you ever. Yeah? You go and exercise that fucking demon inside of you, and you can do it on your own. Yeah? Or you could die with it, for all I care. You're not gonna be part of this show anymore. I'm not giving you any more chances. It's over, fucking asshole. Okay, Blue. Yeah, I mean, Nathan's doing what Nathan does. I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about today. Today Today's weather modification day, and the day where Cleary is kicked out and is never going to come back. Yeah? Unless you give me like at least 200 euros. Which he isn't going to. Yeah? That's the price I'm giving you. Yeah, you want to come back? Not be a fucking troll anymore? Yeah, now the entry fee for that is 200 euros. Yeah, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Your boy won. Own the match. He won. Good for you. We're driving back now. We'll watch back later. Good. I mean, it's been a good show. It's just making small talk. No, it's fine. Like the theme? Yeah, no, it's because it's constructive. This is think tank work about the future. It's very serious. I even addressed President Trump literally about it. Like on my show as a public address. I mean, I didn't have him like on the phone or anything. But yeah, this is a very serious subject. And there's a window of opportunity to manifest it. And I think it would be better for everybody if it did. Yeah, hey, weirdness, how about you stop addressing it, huh? Address it one more time and you are banned too. You got it? You don't need to tell me about the trolls, about what I should or should not do, or anything about that. Yeah, you want me to stop being excited about it? Then don't bring it up anymore. I've moved on. Don't make me go back. Alright? Rip Ballers, a new one is good. Yeah. I just think that ripping on ballers is just such a fucking waste of time. I mean, they're like lunatics. They're the lunatics that run the asylum, and like their final objective is to like eradicate all critical thinking. And I just don't want to give them anything. Ban me for being... Hey, weirdness, shut the hell up. I'm just telling you now. Shut up. Yeah, it's enough to ban one person that just suddenly turns like a troll. Fucking scumbag. Literal betrayal. Yeah, I've treated you like a brother here, and you just turned on me just like that for nothing. Yeah? I'm not gonna forget that. Just like I don't forget the last time where you just started talking shit about Jesus. Yeah? You done it again. Right? I hope you rot in hell, Cleary. I hope you rot in hell. Hope you have horrifying nightmares. For this. Yeah, that's what I hope for you. Because you deserve it for doing this. Like, no good reason to do this. Right, I'm rounding out the show. Hope everybody liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Ended very annoying. I mean, but like, who cares? It's that look of disdain I get, condescending way which I deal with them. Yeah. Mental patients who think they're running the asylum. Yeah. I yeah. I get in a certain way. It is true. But I mean, I don't like getting that way, but that is going to be the response. Right, anyhow, I am rounding out the show, because I mean, it's getting late. Can't believe it's still sunny out there. Not a trill, not a cloud. I mean, a slight haze, but I mean, it's not really light blocking. It's still beautiful out there. And I really am looking forward to lunch. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you all liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below. Or send me a super chat over in the Rumble live chat when the show is live. Or subscribe to my channel. I can really use the support. Please support your local Arwin. I have to contend with these fucking trolls all the time. It would be great if somebody helped me to get by, right? Would be great. And I know that some of you guys really do your best, so I just wish other people would jump in and actually help me out here. Anyhow, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2222. Woohoo! What an amazing number. 2222. Sounds like a futurist hippie song of the 70s. But it isn't. But it should be. Right, so tomorrow on a Wednesday, 2222. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this day. And until the next video, keep it flat.